Hello there. Have you had lunch, Rick? Sorry.
I have had lunch, yes.
What'd you have?
Do I expose it now, or do I?
We don't have a contest. We don't have a contest today, so
No, we just genuinely want to know.
You can't even, first of all, number one, I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut, sitting in traffic. No one knows how to drive on Boston Post Road whatsoever in the state of Connecticut. So if you're listening in the state of Connecticut, you guys are very poor drivers, okay? I will refrain from my typical language of sitting in traffic, so you're aware, fellas.
Thank you.
I just had a large antipasto at a place called Pizza Post in Greenwich, across from Greenwich High School. I'm trying to tone down the amount of food that I ingest in a day, guys. But I am on my way to move to Darien, Connecticut for the lacrosse season to work. And then I'll be back when we finish winning a state championship, and hopefully our youngest daughter, Viviana, wins a state championship at CNS, and they keep that going.
Awesome. So. Awesome. Well, good luck. I didn't realize that you had another gig here for the lacrosse season.
It is. I'm just helping a friend out. I'm like a third assistant. They've had a powerful program for the last 30 years, and so he asked me to come on board, and I had some things that I needed to do, and then some things changed. So I still made the commitment. So I'm going to keep it, and my wife is allowing me to do that. Tori is a great woman. As you know, Steve, she's in the Greater Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame. You were an integral part of making that video, in which I watched 2 days ago. Thank you for that.
Of course.
It's amazing when everybody thinks that I'm the best athlete in my own family, and I'm not. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, we're going to talk some lacrosse here, and we haven't had you on since the Hopkins game. And I know how you feel about Hopkins, so that must have been a little extra special watching Syracuse go out and take care of business. And I said this yesterday on the show, Rick, that was a game that, if they lost it, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. I mean, it wouldn't have been great, but they could bounce back from it. It's still pretty early in the season, about the halfway point. But to win that game, did it feel like a sort of like a statement win for this team after the back-to-back losses to Maryland and Harvard, to kind of right the ship, beat a really quality opponent, and start looking like a Final Four contender again?
Yes, absolutely. And you've caught the positive, Rick, today, Steve. I just want to let you know.
Good.
So I'm very positive on this call. Yes, I do think that helped right the ship a bit. I was very lucky to be able to go out to dinner with the Spallina brothers and Billy Dwan and our weekly wings dinner out at Crossroads out in East Syracuse. I've never seen college students eat that many wings in my life, too, by the way. But they were extremely excited about the win and felt really good about where their team was trending. And, that's what really counts. It's not what me, the guy who talks about them, really, really says. It's about when the players feel good about wins and they're not too stressed about losses, right, that are after the fact. I mean, it's a really encouraging thing to see those attitudes of those guys. And I think, they were excited about playing Manhattan today. And they're excited about getting a chance to, beat up on Colgate, another Central New York team, hopefully at the end of the week.
How about this layoff, right? I mean, they returned to action tonight, but they've been off for 10 days, and they were, they beat Hopkins. You got to be feeling pretty good about yourself coming out of that, as you just mentioned. Good time for for a little bit of a layoff, coming off a good win like that, or is that the type of thing, Rick, where as a player you like to get back on the field and just kind of keep it going?
I mean, I think it's a great thing for them right now. They were starting to get a little nicked up. You can get a lot of recovery in 10 days. I mean, and as you know, Steve, being a college athlete, especially, I don't know if really anybody hits you in your sport, but when they hit you a lot, your body's never 150, 100%. And
sure.
I think the 10-day layoff really will help those guys, especially with the way that training staff is at Syracuse. And I will say this, guys, if you're worried about a letdown in their play, I mean, let's really speak the truth. Between us, they're playing Manhattan.
Right.
You can afford a letdown, right? If you're coming back after 10 days and you're facing Maryland, I think we have, we're happy that we're recovered. We're happy that we're feeling good, that the bruises are gone, that, the game bruises are gone. But we're not really happy because we haven't been tested. We've only been testing ourselves for 10 days. So, but tonight's going to be a good, I think they may stumble. a little bit. They may make mistakes, but this could be a good chance to get other guys in, see what you have, right? Make those midfield lines. Make sure you find those guys when guys get nicked up, that hopefully, they don't get nicked up, but you can have them there for the end of the year if they do.
All right, so the perfect segue into my next question. I was going there next. You touched on it a little bit, but what are you hoping Syracuse gets out of this game tonight? Because we know they're going to win it. They're probably going to win it comfortably. But if you're Gary Gait, what are you hoping to get out of this game tonight?
I think a few things. You're hoping to get a little more depth playing time, right? So they can get game speed experience. I think also, I don't know if I'm Pat March. I'm actually praying that Manhattan comes out in the zone because you can work on your zone offense because you're going to see that sooner or later. You're also probably going to see some of that against Colgate. You can never really mimic that. And I think another great thing is you can get the specialists some work. You can maybe give Jimmy McCool some time off and move in a new goalie. You can go with the second face-off guy. Not that Mariano Rivera's kid is not a great face-off guy. Let's obviously, that'll be a headline tomorrow. If he goes in the Dome, everybody was taking pictures with him so graciously last year. But I do think it's a great spot to be in. But if I'm a coach, I'm hoping to see some different things, some things that I could, maybe if Manhattan junks it up, it can prepare you for Colgate, who, by the way, plays a very crazy game plan. We use the line, the phrase "junk it up." It's really not junking it up. They just do different things. So this can happily, if you see those types of things, it won't be the first time you see them next week.
Since you brought up Colgate, the team can't look ahead, but we can look ahead a little bit. This is a Colgate team that beat Harvard, right? I mean, what do you make of the Raiders? 5-3 on the season. I don't know how much you've seen of them, but how dangerous is this Colgate team?
I think they're a good team, and their coaches are probably listening. That's in the radio area, listening area of upstate. But I'll speak very frankly if they're listening. You're probably going to get beat pretty good, and I don't care if you use it as motivation. I just think in my brain, the matchups and the way the offense is run just cause problems for Colgate. We saw that last year. It became a very physical game. It becomes a physical game. If Syracuse can keep its cool, they're bigger, faster, and stronger. I think, the big thing is obviously specialists. If you win faceoffs and you can – you can save the ball, you'll be okay. But I personally think it's a Syracuse win if they don't win by more than 8 goals, I'd be surprised.
Wow. Okay. All right. We're at the midway mark of the season, right? And a lot of tough games down the stretch, and then you hope to be peaking in the month of May. What is the biggest area of weakness or concern that you have for this Syracuse squad, Rick?
My biggest area I think I have concern is consistency in 2 things. It's the consistency in the midfield. Do you have a go-to alpha male? You have to have that in the playoffs. Do you have that out of the 3 lines that you're running? Also, another concern is consistency in the defensive midfield. I think you have to kind of get those clear-cut 2 shorties, and you got to find a pole. Nick Kakemo, as we saw, does a great job, but he was much better down low in the last game when Syracuse had some issues. So I don't think there's a true dominant pole. You're using Billy Dwan III up top, who is obviously a spectacular player. They're not using Michael Grace up there, and so I just like to see some more consistency at that long stick position, because I do think, and I've said it time and time again, guys, how far a team goes is how great their defensive midfield is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a great rope unit in order to go far in the playoffs, and Syracuse has to get some consistency to that. And those are my 2 things that I would say I'd like to see firmed up after the midway break, the All-Star break here.
You brought up the need for a go-to guy, and Syracuse is going to play Cornell here in a couple of weeks, and they've got the ultimate go-to guy, right, in C.J. Kirst. Mm-hmm. Does Syracuse have that guy on the roster? Like, game on the line, who they, I know obviously Joey Spallina, you want the ball in his stick, but he's more of a setup guy a lot of the time. Do they have that guy that you could give the ball to, game on the line, and say, go get us a goal?
I do, actually. I think it is 22. I think, Joseph gets a lot of unfair criticism, but that comes along with the number. I think if given the chance and you actually just let him be and you figure out just to let him be, I think he'll do good things. I think with going into Colgate, Cornell, let's just be. They're the best team in Central New York right now, and I think the way you shut them down is you deny all the touches you can to C.J. Kirst. You don't let him touch the ball. You literally marry someone in his pocket, and you make everybody else beat you. That's about the one way I'd go about it. You didn't ask me, but I'm going to give you that little bit of insight.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. You always tell it like it is. All right, Rick, be safe getting wherever you're going at the moment. We love having you on. Enjoy the rest of your week, and good luck with as you start this new job here during lacrosse season.
I appreciate it, and good luck to the West Hill Warriors. Or what are they now? The Brave, the Blue? What are they?
What the heck did they change
I
their
don't
name
remember.
to?
And I went there.
I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I know that Liverpool went with the Legends. They went with Wolfpack, I think, right?
Yeah,
West Hill Wolfpack?
That is the Wolfpack. So
Yeah.
I hope your son howls his way into a section championship game playing defense.
Well, he is. He's not there anymore, Rick. He's a freshman in
he
college now.
graduated?
Yeah, I'm an old man, so yes, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
He's a freshman now.
I mean, why do you think I moved it? I had Angela's playing at Denver at 1 p.m.
Wow.
I have a game, so I had to move the game. Jordan was gracious enough to move it for me, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys giving me that levity. And the only thing that stinks, guys, is I won't get a chance to watch. It'll be the first game I haven't watched in her college career, and I'm going to listen to it, or I may do the snake move. What do you think, Paulie? Was this a move you do? You go get the paywall. You pay for the first month and then you cancel just to watch the game.
Absolutely.
What do you think of that?
Absolutely.
I'm good with that too.
Even if you can get
allowed.
a free trial, do that.
Right,
And
even
then
better.
cancel.
Even better.
Steve is good with that.
I'm good with
I tried
it.
to see if there was a free.
If
Steve,
you're watching
you
your
of all
kid,
people-
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, great. Then I'm going to go do that at 1 o'clock, and all I'm going to say is go Seawolves and go Syracuse men's.
And,
All right.
and as somebody who grew up in Onondaga Hill in the Westvale area, Wolfpack is a natural. There's just wolves roaming freely in that area all the time.
So many wolves. All right, Rick, be well. We'll talk soon.
Later, guys.
See ya. 4-time All-American Rick Beardsley.
Where did they get that from?
I don't know. They did like a vote and
Alliteration?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Weedsport went with the Wolverines, right? Everybody's changing their names. All right.